Coach, did you like what you saw from your juniors today, especially Avina and Kristen dishing out some assists with no Paige?
Yeah, I mean, it's difficult to play, when you're missing someone who's such an integral part of your offense. And I thought they handled it pretty well. Um, I think overall it was, like a horrendous basketball game, to watch. I mean, it was very difficult to watch, but you know, the, the the choppiness of it and the lack of flow and nothing seemed like it came easy. And um, players in some positions where they're not quite comfortable yet. Um, but I thought our defense did a decent job for the most part. And, you know, um, sometimes, that's the way it's got to be.
What'd you make of Nikka Mule's first start and how she settled into the game?
Anika's, as you can tell, is a very emotional player. You know, um, I'm glad she's true to her heritage. Every time she fouls, she swears she didn't touch him, and every time she misses on a drive, she swears she got killed. So, she's got that going for her. But she plays with a lot of emotion, and I thought for her first time out there, um, you know, I, she she's gonna do a lot of things that are gonna make you want to pull your hair out. But I think as she grows, hopefully she becomes, um, a little more disciplined in her approach, and is going to be somebody that hopefully can help us going forward.
Aubri Griffin, another strong start. Are you pleased with the role that she's been carving out on this team?
Yeah, I mean, that's an important role because, you know, we we really we really need to have Aubrey's activity level, her defensive activity level, and her ability to get on the backboard, and some things that she can make happen that other players can't. And she's becoming more and more comfortable and feeling better, and I think those things are going to give her a lot of confidence going forward. And that's, um, you know, I'm glad she's getting a lot of minutes to build on that.
Thank you.
Bonjour.
Hey, Geno, could you just shed some light on Paige and Anna, how they're doing, and do you expect those to be short term or?
Paige is going to get evaluated again today, and right now we're saying, she's day to day. I mean, we've got a couple of days off, which is really good. So hopefully by Tuesday, she'll be ready to go. If not Wednesday, I hope. But, right now there's a better chance than not that she's going to be ready to go for Thursday. Anna, I'm not sure because, for her, it's been something that they've been trying to take care of for a little bit of time now, and it's not working. So for her, I can't give you, any kind of definitive timetable.
Joe, are you there?
Yes, thank you. I wasn't sure you said. Geno, you were forced into that starting lineup today. Based on that one game, were you fairly able to evaluate how good they were, they weren't, or they could be?
Who?
Your starting lineup today. The fact that you had to break out a starting lineup that was different than what you normally would start. So could you really fairly evaluate them based on one game?
Oh, if we had to go with the starting lineup we had today?
Yes, yes.
and we were playing like a real good team,
A different team.
a different team.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, if the other team that we played, like if we played Georgetown again tomorrow and they had a day to get ready for us, I'm not sure we would win. But I'm not crazy about that lineup, be honest with you.
Okay.
So if we have to go with that lineup a lot, I'm not crazy about it. I don't like it.
Okay. I got it.
Yep.
Thanks.
Mhm.
Nathan 10.
Hi, Coach. What do you make of the job that Coach Howard has done rebuilding at Georgetown with just 3 returning players on the active roster in such an abnormal season?
Yeah, it's a weird season to begin with, you know. And I wasn't here last year, the year before that. So I've been gone from the Big East for a long time now. So I don't know what their history is since I've been gone. Only what I've been able to read and, try to pick up from, seeing some past games. But whenever there's a big turnover in your roster, it's never going to be easy. It's putting together a basketball team. It can be easy, provided you have all the right pieces and they all fall into place, and you have some experience to go with it. But trying to get really good really fast when you have that much turnover, that's a real difficult task. And then when you put all the starts and stops and pause this and pause that, it's an impossible situation that they find themselves in. And, they played for 40 minutes. It's not like all of a sudden they gave up and stopped playing. So, they're not winning, but I think they're planning, for the future, which is good.
Alexa.
Hey, Geno.
Hey.
After the games this week, obviously Tennessee, different challenge for you guys defensively than today. But how would you assess where your defense is, especially going to Thursday when it's really going to have to have its hands full, I guess, with Arkansas?
I thought our defense was better the other night against Tennessee than it was today. And our defense is kind of like game to game. So depending on who we're playing, depending on what the matchups are, we try to game plan, what's our strategy, but it depends game to game. So how we're going to have to play Arkansas is going to be way different than we played today. So we're going to have to, take a couple days and make sure that we're, really locked into what are the things that we're going to have to be good at defensively. And we're going to be able to do some things defensively, but they're really a difficult team to defend. I don't know if any of you have seen them play, but they're not an easy team to contain. So that's going to be a real challenge, especially down at their place.
One of the things you had mentioned before was that the defensive communication was lacking. In part, you thought probably because there's so many newcomers, so many freshmen. Is that improved over the last few weeks at all?
No. I mean, I don't think it has. Maybe it has. I don't know. But one of the worst things that ever happened to players was no fans. Because now, if I say, how come you didn't call out that screen? They could say, well, yeah, I did. Well, I can hear what my wife is saying up in the stands. So if I didn't hear you call out that screen, you can't lie to me now. See, back then they could when there's 10,000 people in the stands. But right now, so you can tell whether we're communicating and whether we're not. And my biggest frustration right now is that we're a sometime team. We communicate sometimes, and we communicate pretty well sometimes. And sometimes we don't communicate at all. And sometimes we communicate a little bit. So the consistency that I'm looking for is certainly not there.
Carl, you want to go ahead?
You know, Olivia made a couple threes today, and Aubri tried a couple threes today, and the other night at Tennessee, they both tried three-pointers. What's your feeling about them taking those shots and their selection of when they take those shots, and are you okay with it all?
Am I okay with it all? Well, I mean, the game has changed so much, you know, in the last couple of years that I think you have to be able to shoot the ball from the perimeter. You have to be a good shooter. You know, you're going to play teams where they're going to say, "Hey, you're going to have to make some of those shots to beat us." I like the fact that Liv thinks that she can make that shot. You know, I've seen Aubri in practice make three after three after three after three after three like it's the easiest thing in the world. So, you know, doing that in a game, yeah, that's great. Doing it in a big game, yeah, that's great. So I like the fact that they're, you know, that they're able to do it, that the opportunities are there, which is good. Just remains to be seen, you know, are they going to make them when, you know, when the stakes are really high? That I don't know.
I just wonder if, because sometimes they take them with 20 or 22 on the shot clock, and that shot would be available later in the shot clock, that maybe you would want something more, you know, or something, you know, run the offense a little more.
Well, now you're being nostalgic and saying that 3 or 4 more passes later, that shot would still be there. But if you've been watching closely, 3 or 4 more passes later, that might be the other team taking that shot.
Commissioner Vogel?
Yeah, Coach, I know you'll probably address Arkansas again later this week, but you mentioned early the difficulty of playing against them. And obviously, they're an extremely guard-oriented team with the likes of Dungy and Slocum or Ramirez. And those are all really experienced players, too. I mean, they're all fifth-year players. What do you think are the specific challenges of Arkansas from that perspective, you know, for you guys defensively, maybe, and even offensively, because they are so guard-oriented?
You know, the game has changed, as I just said recently, to where it is a guard-oriented game. It is how good are your guards? It is how well can your guards attack the other team? How well can they run your team? How many threes can they make? How quickly can they get into the lane and make a play? You know, can they get to the free throw line? You know, that's Arkansas. That's what they do. And you're right, having 3 fifth-year seniors, and they're going to be going up against a team that, you know, that's not who we are. You know, that's not the experience that we're going to be putting out on the floor. And that's going to be a real challenge for us, an incredibly difficult challenge, but one that I think is good for our team because I'm sure down the road we're gonna see much more of that. I would venture to say there's more good guards in college basketball today than there are great post players. There may be a few really good post players, but there's a lot of really good guard-oriented teams, and Arkansas may be the best of all of them. So it's a great challenge for us and a great opportunity for us.
Thank you.
Vicky Fulkerson? Hey, Vicky, you're muted.
Sorry. Obviously, Paige moves the ball so well and sees the floor so well. And Anna also, did you guys move the ball better as the game went along, as you settled in a little bit today without them?
I just want to be muted. So that I don't say something that's going to get me in trouble. Do I like? I thought our ball movement was not great today. I don't think there was a lot of flow to it. I mean, I don't know how many assists we had today. It says 20. Oh my God. You know, other than, you know, there are a few instances that, yeah, there didn't seem to be that same flow. So having two pretty good passers out of the lineup is definitely going to affect your ball movement. It's definitely going to affect the continuity of your offense. No question about it. And two really good perimeter shooters. So it was a double whammy for this particular game. Georgetown just put 5 guys in the lane and said, you know, shoot it. So we did. We took 29 threes. I mean, we're trying to make 10 every game. You know, it may take us 40 to make 10, but we're trying to make 10. And can't always count on that. But if you can't make a bunch of threes anymore, you're going to have a hard time winning a lot of games. So the ball movement was, you know, took a big hit with Paige and Anna out of the lineup.
Charlotte?
Hi, Geno. I just wanted to follow up on Anna. How long has that been bothering her? And I don't know if you could be a little bit more specific about what the injury is.
She's had some issues with her leg. And it's been a couple weeks, and, you know, they've been doing rehab, and they, you know, try to keep her, you know, a limit on how much time she's out on the floor and all that, but it's been bothering her. And lately, you know, just as a precaution, you know, in the test that we take, it's best if she's not out there, rather than keep going and trying to do this and then have something more serious occur. So it's not something that just happened overnight. It's been a couple weeks.
Anything else for Coach?
I bet you the puck movement will be way better at the next game I'm going to, UConn BC, than our ball movement was. Guarantee you that. And maybe I ought to have our guys pass with a stick. Maybe I have Kavanaugh come over here and show our guys how to pass the ball with a stick. And I think sometimes it looks like we're shooting a puck into a basket when we're shooting basketballs. I think I'm going to learn something when I go to that hockey game. Hey, as Bernie Perrant used to say, some fun, eh?